Hello, I'm Tony, and welcome to the Tony Shap Show. Today I'm going to be covering authorization fees versus sales transaction fees. And in this podcast, you're going to learn what an authorization means and how it could be applicable to your business versus a sale count. So this came about because I was reviewing a statement, and this particular business owner had 36,000 authorizations in a given month that they attempted to get approvals on when it came to credit card processing. So, for example, their website had 36,000 successful shopping cart transactions, and these were attempts. There were attempts as an authorization for a particular credit card. But the shocker was that they only had 6,000 transactions go through out of the 36,000, which is quite alarming. What this means, and this is beyond abandonment of cart, because think about it, that's one thing on the front end when you're trying to get people to check out for your e-commerce. However, when they get to the final screen, they're putting their credit card information in, and they're putting their credit card information, their billing address, their card code, and your shopping cart is connected to your payment gateway, and it's going out to the networks and the issuing banks to secure and authenticate and get an approval from the card. But those approvals, for some reason, are coming back declined. Now, let's go into why that could be. There's simple things that could be as simple as the payment gateway configuration is not done properly. The security thresholds are too high, or it could be simply a typo done by user error when the card holder is sitting on your website to make the purchase. And those things are typically 80% of the time is the billing address. So instead of putting in 123 Main Street, they might put in, they're typing it in, but they quickly type it and it just says 23 Main Street for the billing address. That's 80% of the time. And the rest of the time is made up by the wrong expiration date or a card code or simply their credit card number. So that's stuff that's out of your control as a business owner when you have your e-commerce store set up and people are coming to your website to make the purchase. They should be able to put in the correct information of their billing address. However, the biggest thing that happens and a lot of business owners don't know about is the technology that they're using to process those transactions securely on their website when it comes to the shopping cart and the payment gateway. You want to make sure that the payment gateway is passing through all the data properly so you're able to get higher approval rates. Because when we were looking at this particular business, we were able to save them about $25,000 a month simply by figuring out what that problem was and bringing it forth. Because there's no reason why a business should have only 6,000 successful transactions go through out of 36,000. That number is quite the extreme, and I've never seen ratios that bad. But luckily, we were able to create a solution for them, and the solution is the fact that we're going to put in the right tech in place when it comes to their payment gateway, connect them directly with the core processor, which will help them have higher approval rates. By higher approval rates, they'll have more sales, the revenue goes up, because this all came about, the revenues are great, the merchant fees were out of control. There was another credit card processor, and once we got into the statements and we did a quick complete analysis, everything else looked great except for the authorization fees. Because why should a business have so many authorization attempts compared to the actual sales going through? So we figured out the problem, we were able to fix it, and we were able to save them over $20,000 per month that they processed, because this was something that was a simple oversight. And this happens more often than you know. It's just because there's different things involved when it comes to technology pieces, right? You have your shopping cart that's on It could be custom or it could be on a certain platform. And that shopping cart on the back end is connected to a payment gateway. And that payment gateway has to go out to their credit card processor. And the credit card processor goes to issuing bank. And then all this comes back, reversed back out to get the approval code that displays the successful order received when the transaction goes through successfully. So it seems seamless, but there's a lot of different parties and tech involved for a credit card transaction to happen properly and securely. But at the same time, there are times where there's breakdown. There's just the technology pieces are not speaking to each other, or you have something that needs to be there's simply a wrong line of code, which could be not passing through the zip code. It could not be. It could only pass 4 digits of the zip code instead of the full 5 digits. And what happens there is they're getting higher declines, or if the declines are going through and they're getting approvals, they're paying a higher rate because it's not properly synced up with what is required by the brands. So I hope this helps. I hope this helps you understand what an authorization is compared to a sale. Just to recap again, an authorization is an attempt for an approval on a credit card when a sale is coming through, and the sale count is actually what nets and goes through. The true count is what will be processed and go to your bank account. And there you go. I hope you enjoyed it, and great to have you, and thanks for listening. And don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for the next episode. Till next time, onwards and upwards.